An example with LULU stock chart, which displays a large uptrend with some periods of steep inclines. A steep trend line emphasizes this, and not surprisingly, it is unsustainable and is soon broken through. The market falls below it, and it has resisting influence later on. The orange highlight reveals a more stable incline and demonstrates why a shallower angle is generally more sustainable in the long term. Also, notice how even after the first trend line was less valid and reliable after being breached, it continued to have some influence in resisting the incline, and it was quite close to the site of the major downswing. And speaking of the first trend line, a similar steep trend line can be drawn once the market begins a major upward reversal. It is a familiar situation. The market is unable to maintain the steep incline and falls into a more stable incline. That is outlined by these two blue trend lines. This channel turns out to be much steeper than the last one. However, it is still more stable than the original steep trend line drawn at the beginning of this developing uptrend. Consistent and/or significant increases in bearish or bullish volume and price action are adequate in being able to cross the boundaries of trend lines and channels, similar to horizontal support and resistance. And in this case, the upward channel still remains a fairly reliable reference for maintaining the overall uptrend, because only the top portion was crossed rather than the bottom. If it was the bottom portion that was crossed, it becomes less reliable in terms of referencing an incline for the uptrend. The upper portion of the channel formed by the upper trend line is comparatively less reliable after being breached. Trading falls back into the channel, but it isn't as neatly contained at the top compared to the bottom. The bottom trend line has not been breached yet, so it has retained more validity and reliability compared to the top. And that's why the channel as a whole is still useful for referencing the uptrend, albeit to a lesser degree moving forward.